virtual or in person. If you'd like to speak during the public comment period, please acknowledge yourself during the meeting or raise your hand in the chat and we'll acknowledge you, or come off mute and we will acknowledge you for a few minutes to comment on any topic. So I will turn this over to Connor to go over the roll call and the guidelines for the meeting. Connor?
Thank you, Mr. Sunderland. Good morning, everyone. This is Connor Vanahy with GHD. I'd like to wish a warm welcome to everyone joining us for this November meeting. As a reminder, this meeting will be recorded. And to start things off, I'd like to introduce a couple of housekeeping measures. To reduce the amount of background noise, we kindly ask you to stay muted until you're ready to speak. And at the time you're ready to speak, please state your name and affiliation for the record. At this time, I'll begin taking the roll call, starting with the board members. After I say your name, please say here or present. I'd like to start with Bill Sunderland.
Present.
Brian Gould.
Present.
Debbie Lombardo.
Present.
Scott Billman.
Present.
Bill Hanley.
Present.
And Tim Donovan.
Present.
Thank you, board. I'll now move on to our regular attendees, starting with Peter Merlot.
Present.
Jack McMahon.
Present.
Fawad Arab.
Present.
Charlie Martirana.
Present.
Damon Sykes.
Present.
David Hill.
Present.
Doug Foltz.
Present.
Kelly Lee.
Present.
Bill Ferguson.
Present.
Stephen Waldvogel.
Present.
Dustin Steiner.
Present.
Matthew Adam.
Present.
Zach Cox.
Present.
Damon Rand.
Present.
Pat Thornton.
Present.
Mike Welaz.
Present.
Jeff Mays.
Present.
And Sean McLaughlin.
Present.
I think that's everybody. Is there anybody I missed on the call or in person right now? Eric Machen, I also see Eric on the call. I think that's it.
I'm going to introduce Snow and I'm Giovanni. I'm with Channel 7.
Thanks.
Is the Spectrum News is on there?
Yep, Spectrum News is also on there. Yep, that's it. So
All right, thank you. All right, board, if you'll look at the attached agenda, please review it for any additions or subtractions. I have a couple. We're going to add item 2A. We're going to talk about roll. And item number 6, we're going to delete that at this time. But other than those changes, are there any other additions or subtractions? Okay, hearing none, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
Bill will make the motion.
Handley, second. Properly moved and second. All in favor?
Bill and I.
Handley, aye.
Donovan, aye.
Lombardo, aye.
Ice. Aye. Gould, aye.
Sunderland, aye. All right, thank you. We're going to move to the next item, the approval of the meeting minutes from October 8th, 2025. Board, if you will review the meeting minutes for any corrections on the draft meeting minutes. Hearing any, board, is there a motion to approve the draft meeting minutes as so presented?
Handley, aye.
Donovan, second.
Been properly moved and second. All in favor?
Handley, aye.
Donovan, aye.
Lombardo, aye.
Bill and I.
Sunderland, aye. All right, thank you. All right, we're going to move. We lost Brian and Stephen for the next item, which is 2A roll. We're going to move to item number 3, the public comment period. So if there is anybody, member of the public that's either virtual or in person, if If you'd like to come off mute or raise your hand in the chat, we will acknowledge you and you can speak on whatever topic you'd like. See anybody online? All right, thank you. We'll move to, what's it?
We're gonna move to 8.
Okay. Item number 2A, roll, we're going to move that to the end. You want to do it after Viola's report?
Yeah.
Or that far back? Okay. So we're going to move that to item 9A now. Sorry about that. Item number 4, staffing update.
I'll take it.
David?
David Hill, Veolia. Staffing numbers 98, I'm going to call it 98. We have not officially received an update from downtown. However, we know there hasn't been that much change. We continue to meet with TPW administration on a weekly basis to discuss staffing needs. We've been partnering with the city, Jeff has, to actually update job descriptions. Some of these job specs are nearly 50 years old, and we began updating them in modern language that will be, obviously approved and by the unions and civil service and all that.
Is there any delays with civil service? Are they turning them around fairly?
We just now have gotten to the point of handing them off. So, no, we're just being in the process.
And Brian, after civil service updates them, the union has 10 days to respond to them also.
Okay.
Real quick, some other activities. We've connected with Northland Workforce Development Training Center and kind of exploring partnership opportunities with them. It's a little early yet to discuss all that, but we are working locally with them and some National Urban League here locally. That's all I have for staffing today.
Any questions from the board?
Just one. I mean, is there any area that we are having issues filling?
Certainly. Plant operations positions, filter operations positions, AFPOs, plant operators, pumping operators, caulkers.
They have license.
Yes, the licensing is something special that the guys running the plant, gals running the plant must have. But yeah, there's several areas that we're light in key critical positions.
They need the licensing as a minimum?
Yes.
Anything else from the board? Okay. We're going to move down to the next item, item number 5, the UB Pipe Loop contract time extension. Mr. Merlo?
Thank you. Pete Merlo, Principal Engineer, City of Buffalo Division of Water. In front of you is requests for a contract extension, and the contract is an existing agreement with the University of Buffalo. This has been a very beneficial partnership for the board. This is utilized to run and provide the staffing and research required to do the analysis on the pipe loops system the board invested, I believe, a couple $1 million in. And these are 3 pipe loop network containing both copper, lead, and harvested lead services. And we are able to test if there's any changes in our treatment process. We use this when we added fluoride as phosphoric acid. UV helped perform that analysis to make sure there wasn't going to be any adverse consequences. Now we're looking at, and we currently add an orthophosphate-based corrosion control inhibitor, and really helps nail our water quality in terms of making us as impenetrable to lead as we can possibly be. We're looking at potentially changing our orthophosphate concentrations. That's where UV has come in. They are evaluating that to see if there's any benefit. There's 3 loops. We have a null and we have 2 testing. They provide the labor. The water board provides research opportunities, but they also get someone over here working. We have graduate students working here. I know GHG helps keep that loop going. You were the ones that designed it. So this is part of that staffing. The board has about $100,000 left. UB had a little bit of a hiccup. There was some delays in running that. There were some mechanical challenges. So we would just like to continue that to the end of the fiscal year and give us time, and board, I will bring this later to negotiate the next contract with UB to continue this endeavor, which I think is very beneficial, to kind of really help us make sure we have the best water quality from here to the tap.
Thank you, Peter. I agree with Peter. It's such a beneficial piece of equipment and the labor that UB is providing for this. I would encourage any of the board members, if they'd like to see it after the meeting, please go. Peter can give you a tour, or Juan can give you a tour of it.
It's impressive.
Take a look. It is pretty impressive. All right, thank you, Peter. Is there a motion to approve the time extension for UB to June 2026 for the pipe loop work?
Donovan makes a motion, time extension, pipe loop contract.
Hanley second.
It's been properly moved in second. All in favor?
Donovan, aye.
Hanley, aye.
Cool, that,
Lombardo, aye.
Sunderland, aye. Thank you. All right, we're going to move down to item number 7, limit accounts. Doug, are you on?
Yes, good morning. I am on Doug Foltz, Veolia Operations. I don't know if you could pull up the, what's in the report, but we were not asking for any limit account increases during this meeting. We are within the funding allocation as previously authorized by the board. That said, we do anticipate next month we will come to the board. We think we're going to start hitting targets close to 75%. And I think what the approach is going to be is we're going to try to request funding to fund us through the first quarter of 2026. And we can reevaluate near the end of the first quarter to see if there's any additional funding required to get us through June 30th of 2026. If there's any questions, I would be happy to answer them.
Board, any questions on the status of the limit accounts this month? Okay. Hearing none. Thank you, Doug.
Thank you.
We're going to move down to item number 8. It's the monthly report from GHD. Mr. Walvogel.
Thank you, Stephen Waldvogel, GHD. As many of you know, we've been assisting in a number of areas. By way of update, we have begun preparing for the sale of bonds, working with the Municipal Finance Authority, where we need to give an engineering opinion, and trying to coordinate that through the various City Hall offices. So that process is underway. We're anticipating selling bonds in January, February timeframe to fund the capital plan that you've approved previously. Also been working with Veolia and city staff to implement the discontinuation policy that you had approved previously. There are a number of guidelines and rules. The focus in the short term most definitely will be on the large outstanding debtors. The initial guidelines will be for accounts that have a $1,000 balance or older, and the age receivables are at least 1 year old or older. So the focus in that collections program and the discontinuation of service will be focused on the larger outstanding debt. In addition, the chairman and I met with Promise Pay. They are a company that works with low-income disadvantaged communities to offer payment plans for people who are unable to make their bill payments. They are presently servicing our customers, but we're looking to leverage their capability and technology so that we avoid turning off people by giving them as many options as possible. So that's, we're actively pursuing that. I'll also mention that Veolia themselves have set up payment plans and do set up payment plans. So we're trying our very best to work with our customers. We're also reminding customers about the residential water affordability program. So we'll have Promise and Veolia being out there reminding people that if they're struggling to pay the bill, they have an opportunity to enroll in the affordability program. So all of this is happening in the background as we begin to focus on those customers, many of which are commercial and industrial, have not been faithfully paying their water bills and seem to be taking advantage of the lack of enforcement. Also been meeting with staff and the chairman around a longer-term plan for the lead service line replacement. The water board is subject to the lead and copper rule improvements, which is a mandate by the EPA, includes many, many elements, and one of those.
Excuse me, unfunded mandate.
Unfunded mandate, yep. And so we are preparing a strategy that will work to the customer's benefit by trying to achieve that in the most cost-effective manner. Presently, the challenge that the board is facing probably exceeds $1 billion. And that will likely, if we can't do that effectively, that will likely drive your rates up by 500% or so over a period of time. And so we're working diligently to try to figure out a way to deliver compliance with that rule in a cost-effective manner, but it will be a significant challenge for the Buffalo Water Board and its customers. Unfortunately, there hasn't been any money of substance available for that, and so as the board embarks on this, the only one who will end up paying for it is the customers of the board. And so we're advocating in a way to try to protect the customers from further financial distress. So a lot of kind of work in the background with different staff, with Veolia, and the board members. We have, as you know, we also have some construction contracts going on in construction. I'll turn to Dustin very briefly if you have any updates there.
Sure. Thank you, Stephen. Dustin Steiner, GHD. Just a quick update on the current spoils pile area over at the southeast corner of the property. We've been working with one of Peter's other consultants to get this whole property surveyed. So that was just completed. We'll get those drawings finalized, and with Charlie's effort, we will continue our conversations with Parks as far as that potential transfer taking place. Brian, you got any questions?
Yes, what else needs to be done as far as the action items related to that?
Charlie Martirana, Council. There is a draft of preliminary survey that has been prepared by Nussbaumer and Clark. We are reviewing that together with GHD, and that is about to be finalized in the sense of creating a meets and bounds description from the beginning all the way around. And from there, we'll be able to develop the plan for how much land should be retained as part of this overall water treatment plant, and what land can be designated within the park next door. And the core here is that there is a question about the description in the 1992 deed that conveyed the property that the water board owns now to the water board when the water board was created. And that description is faulty, basically. And so we are looking at a correcting deed to fix that description. And that's where we are heading. We don't have a defined map just yet, but we're getting there.
What is, you have a timeframe, Charlie, estimate?
I would think that this could be done within the next month.
Okay. And just so, I've had some conversations about some funds for this transfer of this, of this transaction for the property, and they're definitely open to that. So I know GHD and Brian were working on, some cost estimates as far as, what services that are being performed, if there's materials being moved or what have you. So we're nailing that down, but they're open to that.
Chairman, also, there's a second piece. The commissioner is currently working, I believe, with OSB to get an agreement for the use at the other thing. So those are happening in parallel.
Okay, cool. Great. Thank you.
That's all I have for
Thank you.
Thanks.
No, thanks.
All right, thank you. We'll go to item number 9, which is the monthly report from Veolia Water. David Hill.
Thank you, Bill. David Hill, Veolia Water. we'll provide a quick summary of the affordability programs that Buffalo Water's had ongoing. This is for the past month. In our residential affordable water programs, we've got 2,062 customers enrolled in that program. The senior 65 plus program, we have 4,413. The Promise Pay programs, we've had 135. We actually had a pretty good spike in that last month. Conventional payment plans, we've got 460 of those currently. Mr. Wolaz has been overseeing finishing up some of the road completions. In the past month, it looks like we've got documented 25. We're done.
25 in last month.
Yes. Quick summary of revenue, page 5. The budgeted expectation for the month was 4.6. We actually collected 4.4. Year to date, coming in at 18 with a budgeted expectation of 19.6. We're looking to bridge that gap through collection efforts and rate increases, and that number should be shooting up rather shortly. Some of the major, switching to some of the major work that's going on at the plant. Really, there's too numerous of items, too many items to mention here. Page 8 and 9 kind of goes over all the crucial ongoing projects that the board is funding. There is one that I do want to mention. We're still investigating this, but we've had problems with National Grid, and we've had some outages that basically they caused. And we're in ongoing discussions with them as far as root cause analysis.
Was this like a catastrophic?
It wasn't. We had a brownout for about 10 seconds here.
Did the generators kick in?
No, because it was a brownout. The transformers, we lost 2 or 3 transformers out here. So we may be looking at setting the timing different.
What is it set for now?
It's over 10 seconds where they were kicked on. But again, normally, this is the first brownout anybody's ever seen in the history of this utility that lasted 10 seconds. Normally, the power just cuts off. It actually cut off and was coming back on. And that's a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, so we've actually are investigating some equipment damage, perhaps. A lot of electronics, network cards, different things were impacted.
Now we have the capability to record some of these voltage changes kind of real time that we didn't have before.
Yeah, I want to state that the investment that the board has made has allowed us to actually review these situations and now turn to the power company and say, look, here's the evidence. Before we didn't have that. I mean, but now we can turn around and say, you caused this. So we're working through this right now. We're still getting a handle on really all the damage. I know there was a low lift pump, VFD, that went out around that time or the exact time. So we're still kind of getting a handle on what happened. But most importantly, we want to assure that we have reliable power coming in here from them. And then second, our generator is going to run properly. Because we're going to have to do a major amount of work, done en masse in the coming years.
And just to remind the board again, Pete Merlo, Principal Engineer, this project that we are completing here at Corner Ward, the Fire Electric Project, which updated all the switchgear and the power, was really to remove the limiting factors at this facility power-wise. So we can then, we'll be taking Mass Ave and we'll have partial capacity there during that upgrade, which is scheduled to bid in January 2026. That's that $35 million project. So we want to make sure that this facility, so we're good. We are in conversations with Grid. We want to make sure we get to the bottom of this, understand that when that happens, there's no going back.
So they have acknowledged the brownout.
It was again, we're still.
One transformer was a planned outage, and then a second transformer had an issue during that planned outage, which is what created the larger issue. Which I believe they have acknowledged that much. And like Dave said, we do have evidence of the voltage issues.
But again, I would have to look at, there's FERC and NERC regulations and what, just like us, what the expectation and the standard is for power that they must deliver. And I'm not a professional in that. I'd have to talk to an electrical engineer and see if they were outside those bounds of delivery. They've got to deliver some sort of quality product to everybody. We've got the equipment now to detect that.
Was it around neighborhood wise or isolated?
Just our transformers here. It's worth noting also that thanks to Pat and our operators that we did not have a loss in delivery at all. They kept us up and running the entire time. They did a fantastic job being reactive to that.
What time of day is that?
Like 9 o'clock.
Yeah, it's about 9:30, 10 o'clock.
It was unusual. We actually heard the transformer sound. I was, when it happened, it was, something's about to blow up. And fortunately, it came back on.
I actually was operating it. Me and Matt, helping Matt, we figured it out and kept it going.
David, what would you contribute the increase in customers in promise pay last month? You said there was a increase in customers using.
I'm not certain whether they did some sort of notification campaign. Steven, do you have any idea what if they did any extra special efforts?
No, they have a regular, pre-approved, kind of text notification where they're reaching out to customers and the like. We're talking about expanding that, but no, there was nothing special. Maybe some of the unfortunate news coverage.
Right.
People,
yeah. Anything else, David?
No, that's it.
All right, thank you. We're gonna move to item number 9A, which is roll. Chairman, would you like to speak on this?
Yeah, Steve and I will touch on this. This was action taken at the last board meeting, and I think it resulted in some confusion and touching some misinformation out there. Again, we are not circumventing our responsibility related to lead service lines. We are shifting. This board is shifting. It's the new members of this board have decided to, with Bill, decided to shift our policy from roll to focus on the LCRR program, which again, most in this room know is a federal mandate of the EPA, unfunded federal mandate of the EPA, but it's a requirement. We have to comply with it. It's very, very, deliberate in timeframes that are determined already. And we're behind in planning for that. We've been talking about this amongst the board since I've been on it. And we are now at the place where we took action to shift that, to focus on, again, that policy related to replacing lead service lines of customers. And listen, the LCRR program it's humongous. It's significant as far as the impact on the cost to this utility, to customers. It's, to me, probably still questionable if it even can be implemented in the time frame and under the requirements of the EPA. There is some things that are happening at the national level still. The American Water Works Association has active litigation related to the requirements of the LCRR, rule revisions in the entire program. And again, I think what's lost in this as well a little bit, and we will message this because again, we have to plan for this. Stephen and I met yesterday at Bill for a couple hours to see where it's at and what action items have to be taken to get that plan in place. And, we have to start talking to folks about it because it's not going to be able to be completed on the backs of ratepayers. I think the thing that's lost is the fact that, is this a true benefit to public health and safety, considering the water quality that Buffalo Water Board has? Peter, I know you speak to that quite often.
Very much so.
Pardon me?
Very much so.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're well below the action levels that the EPA has changed, and they will change again, and we'll be below those because this board has taken action. to lower that level. So again, it's an enormous effort that will be undertaken. And I think it's, this is the route that we have to go because again, we have to comply with this. Roll is more of a reactionary program to replace.
Pilot program.
Pilot was a pilot program, yeah, I was just made aware yesterday. But it was more reactionary and didn't have really the requirements of the federal mandate in mind. So there's a lot that we have to do and there's gonna be a lot of discussions, I think, outside this room, once that plan's in place, to go to, the stakeholders, the elected leaders in this community, and start to discuss how will this be paid for? Because the impact that, Stephen was running some numbers yesterday is significant. And, we have to educate customers on the fact that, lead is not, it's not, in our treated water supply. It's not in the drinking water until it gets to some homes and it touches some fixtures or lateral service line. And the incident rate of that in our customer base is extremely low. So as far as going over the action level, we have lead service lines. But again, this is going to be a big effort, and this is the route we have to go. And we have to start educating the community. And again, with Roll, we're not circumventing replacing lead service lines. We're resetting what the focus is and what the policy is and where we have to get to. And this, we have to get here. We are mandated to do so, and that's why we're resetting this.
Chairman, what is the, for the board members, what is the compliance date for the EPA unfunded mandate for LCCR?
I think the first date is 2037, Stephen, correct?
There is a date which they call compliance date. That's in November 2027, which starts the clock for replacement. And then the standard rule requires a 10-year replacement of all lead service lines. So 10 years from November 2027 is presumably November 2036.
That's an estimation of 50,000 service.
No, I think,
35,000.
no, we're, right now,
With the unknowns.
with these considerable unknowns, I would estimate at least 50,000 replacements,
This is an unfunded mandate.
unfunded mandate.
And in 2027, is there a deliverable that starts that clock?
Yes, there is a plan that needs to be delivered to the EPA,
Along with inventory.
along with an updated inventory, yes.
So these are things, the water board did start down that path. I just think, it shifted a little bit and now with the clock is ticking and we have to shift it back to focus on this. And that's why, Roll will be paused, suspended, if we didn't implement it again. But again, customers, I think, should rest assured that the quality of their drinking water is extremely high, it's safe, and again, as far as the treated water supply that we deliver to homes, lead is, the action level, Peter, is next to nothing.
Yeah, in fact, real quick, if you talk about our water quality, it starts with our very stable raw water source. It's excellent coming in. We have a stable water quality process, and if you look at anything that happened before, it's unintended consequences. We don't have those. We have a stable source. We have an excellent treatment process, very redundant, actually has more capacity built in because it was one built for a larger population. So the water coming out of this facility is excellent, far exceeds federal standards. We also add a corrosion control inhibitor that I mentioned. We work in partnership with UB to evaluate and constantly look to maximize that benefit. And Brian, what that helps is with homes that still have maybe lead fixtures inside of it, would still have lead services, it forms a protective barrier in there. We have a lot of scale in our system that it has that protective barrier that really prevents that lead from entering in your treated water. So really, our water is excellent from source to tap for the reasons stated.
And Peter, another, I guess, important fact is that we always encourage customers, if they're concerned about their water, contact the call center, 311, get your water tested if you are concerned if there's water.
You have any
Or
concerns?
let in there, and the other,
We'll drop off pictures. You can get concerned why you're getting those tested and evaluated, because you still need water to the property. You still want to make sure that's working. So if you have any questions, we have those
and
options.
the other fact is that we, even if you've got a copper line, coming into your house, is to flushing. Want to talk about that?
Yeah, flushing is a good common practice for everything. Anytime water sits, anytime you go in a hotel room, you go in there and you're like, that water tastes a little old. Let water run a little bit. Flushing is good for no matter what your water service is. So no matter whatever that is, flushing is a good practice to bring in that quality water from the main that has that chlorine in it, that has what's in there. So Bill, you're right. That's a great practice for no matter what you do, work in your home. Do you have any questions? You haven't been in your house in a while. You have a property you haven't visited. Flushing is one of the best things you can do.
Thanks, Peter.
So again, I'll just add one more item. Stephen and I were talking about the education process because, again, I think what's been avoided in this discussion when this rule came out by the utilities collectively, nationally, was a discussion on the ROI, the return on investment of this. Meaning, what is the impact on public health related to the billions of dollars? It's $1 billion alone for Buffalo, the potential. And with the quality we have and exceeding the action levels already, and the board took, aggressive action by lowering that below the EPA's required action level. I think that's has to be part of the discussion. With this litigation going on, there wasn't a whole lot of advocacy at the beginning of this related to the cost and the health benefit. It doesn't line up, and I think in this community, with our water supply, it doesn't. And I think you're now seeing that being more of the discussion across the country as they're seeing the receipts or the total cost of these things and the impact it will have on ratepayers. These are on private property. Usually, we don't touch private property, right, as a public utility. And now, most utilities under this mandate, unfunded mandate, are looking at taking on the cost up front. But like Stephen said, this goes on the ratepayers. Some way, shape, or form, this goes on the ratepayers. And they will be paying that over the long term because the money is not there. The money's not there from the feds. The money's not there from the state, especially with the climate we're in right now. So this is going to be a big effort and a big discussion, I think, to come.
Chairman, you brought up a good point, though, is that the ownership of that service line coming in from the meter in the house to the street is owned by the homeowner.
Yep.
It's not owned by the utility. So thank you. Board, is there any other questions regarding this topic? All right, we are going to move to executive session. Is there a motion to move to executive session?
For litigation.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, make a motion to executive session for litigation.
Stillman second.
Been properly moved in second. All in favor?
Handley, aye.
Stillman aye.
Lombardo, aye.
Bullseye.
Donovan, aye. Sunderland, aye. Thank you. And then once we come out of executive session, for the people here, we'll come out of executive session and we'll come out of the general meeting. So thank you. Oh, next meeting.
So next,
Got it, Jack.
next meeting, December 10th, still okay?
December 10th. Is that good for everybody? We're trying to keep the meetings to the second Wednesday of every month, 9 a.m. We'll be here at the Colonel Ward Conference Center. All